The time is now 5:52 on this Wednesday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go.
New this morning, after nearly 20 years, Duluth Pack is now under new leadership. The new owner of Duluth Pack is Kevin Hall and another business partner, both being longtime customers of the historic Duluth brand. In a press release, the pair said they aim to carry on the company's traditions and core values, as well as bring new experiences and products for the community. There's also been a recent store remodel, which customers are encouraged to experience. Duluth Pack's previous CEO, Tom Siga, bought the company back in 2007.
Faith United Methodist Church was recently praised by Mayor Jim Payne as one of the most successful resources for homeland and vulnerable people in Superior. Employees say the organization has grown in the past year due to drastic increase in need. Demand for the food shelf has jumped, growing from roughly 20,000 pounds of food per month last year to over 40,000 per month this year. The church offers free laundry and showers and recently started a free store that offers clothing and personal hygiene items. They also run Harbor House crisis shelters, providing up to 45 days in a house setting for those experiencing homelessness.
One person is in the hospital after a garage went up in flames in Eveleth last night. Around 5 p.m., crews responded to Wilson Road in Eveleth on reports of a detached garage fire. The garage, as well as any items inside, are now a total loss. The Central Lakes Fire Department was assisted by 9 other fire departments in the surrounding area. One person was taken to the Virginia Hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation. And according to the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office, the fire started as a result of gasoline accidentally igniting while a wood stove was being lit.
As layoffs continue at the federal level, U.S. Department of Agriculture officials are reacting to layoffs within the Forest Service. A spokesperson for the USDA confirmed that they've recently decided to release about 2,000 probationary non-firefighting employees. Officials say the employees were compensated by temporary Inflation Reduction Act funding. In their statement, USDA leaders called out the Biden administration, saying it's unfortunate that the administration hired thousands of people with no plan in place to pay them long term.
The Office of Cannabis Management is now accepting requests from more than 200 pre-approved social equity applicants, as well as applications for general licensing. This includes micro businesses, retailers, wholesalers, transporters, and medical cannabis combination businesses, among others. Cities and counties aiming to operate a single municipal cannabis store can apply as well. Some applicants could see licenses as soon as spring if they complete all requirements. The application period will end on March 14th. And the most famous sled dog race in the country is adapting to changing winter conditions. The Iditarod announced they'll be changing the location of this year's restart. The official start has been moved to Fairbanks, Alaska due to snow conditions on one section of the trail. That will be 11 a.m. Monday, March 3rd. The route of the iconic 1,000-mile race switches between a north and south route every year, but will now be adjusted slightly due to the start change. There's also a ceremonial start of the race, which will still take place in Anchorage on March 1st.
And over the next few days, looking at